Things have been difficult in many ways during the pandemic. For example, money, jobs, putting food on the table, and mental health.
And we know with children, sometimes mental health struggles can show in the form of maybe bullying. So Julie Broughton is standing by now to ask a doctor how we can help our kids through all that.
Ask a Doctor is sponsored by Conviva Primary Care for Seniors.
For many kids, this is the first school year back in the classroom after a while because of the pandemic. And now that they're back to the routine, the stressors of the pandemic are coming out in the form of bullying. So Dr. Monica Barreto, a clinical psychologist with Orlando Health, joins us now. And Dr. Barreto, we were just talking and you were saying you have seen an increase in bullying, especially as the school year has started. What's going on with that, do you think?
Yes, we're also seeing an increase, especially in youth today. A lot more use of the internet, a lot more access to social media apps. Different to when we usually see the traditional bullying in schools. Social media follows kids home at bedtime. It's kind of nonstop for them. So we're seeing a lot more ability to kind of hide behind the screen type of bullying, and really kind of things that children can't escape from. So feeling a lot more helpless when it comes to bullying.
And talking about, kids not being able to escape from this, I know, back in the day, of course, you would go home and then it would stop until the next day. So as a parent, what do we need to be looking for to know if our child is struggling with something like this?
I think the most important thing is open communication with your teens and your children on what apps they are using, having established rules, when can we use it, when can we not, and having time away from the phones and from the tablets, putting that phone down and doing kind of old school things like playing outside, spending some time with the family, and really putting some restrictions around how much use and having that open communication with what's going on.
And talking about open communication, say your child comes home and they tell you about a situation at school. I know sometimes your first reaction as a parent is that you want to go to school and take care of that yourself. How should you help your children navigate this? Because I know that probably isn't always the best response as a parent.
Right. First thing is to take a deep breath and listen to your teen and your child. What happened, what are the details, validating and really letting them know you're here to listen and to be there, and asking them what can I do? Do you need anything from me? And seeing if they're able, if it's something they want to take care of or it's something that you need to intervene. But the main important thing I would say is listen.
Yeah, and you said if something they want to take care of. How do you kind of coach your kid through dealing with a difficult situation? I know, I was telling my daughter, you're going to have difficult people all through your life, in your workplaces, in your relationships. So this really is something that unfortunately kind of never goes away. What would you say to help kind of prepare your kids for this and help them, navigate these situations?
Main thing when we're looking at the use of social media and the bullying that we're seeing there is one, those privacy settings, blocking people if they're kind of being inappropriate, talking to teachers, if it's happening at school, reporting it at school, if it's happening online, reporting it to those apps or those websites, but really helping them kind of not feed into it, not respond, because sometimes that can be worse.
Yeah, I love a good block on social media. That's a tool we should all use more.
It can be very helpful.
Yes. How do you know when it's time to talk to a teacher or an administrator at school or even seek professional help for your child? What is that line that as a parent you should say, okay, this is something that we need some other adults to step in with?
Yes, I definitely think if it's impacting how they feel about themselves, if it's impacting their functioning, if we're seeing some more anxiety, some depression, we definitely being proactive in those things. I would say as soon as it's happening, if it's happening more than once, I would definitely intervene. The earlier we intervene, the better. And I think we really don't need to wait for things to get very difficult to seek out help. We can all kind of, and especially now, we can get access to those through websites or through telehealth if we can't go in person.
So kind of on the flip side of this, what should a parent do if they find out that their child is actually the one bullying kids?
Yes. Our main thing also is being upfront with the child. Like we got this report of something that happened. One, seeing what's going on with them. How are they feeling? Are they struggling? We see the research often shows that the bullies are also struggling with anxiety, depression, or personal things or struggles at home.
Yeah.
So again, communicating and trying to come together on getting them help as well as what's going on and what's triggering their behavior.
So say you've decided, okay, your child could benefit from some professional mental health help. How do you talk to them so that they don't feel any sort of shame or feel like there's something wrong with them? I know it seems like everyone is going to therapy, and if they're not going, they should be going, I feel like. So how do you talk to your kid about that?
I think one of the things is now we're talking about it, which is a good thing. And it's really the same way that they talk to a parent, kind of letting them know it's not so much what we see on TV. You're just going to talk to someone about how you're feeling, give you some tools. I always tell kids I work with, my goal is to give them the toolbox to how to handle stressors. And not a lifetime, they don't need to go to therapy forever, but just to give them some tools on how to manage when they're they're angry, when they're sad, when they're stressed.
What are some of those tools that maybe somebody watching who, doesn't have access to mental health at this very moment, mental health help at this moment, could talk to their kids about?
Two of the big ones that I use is one, taking space. If you're really upset, getting away from that person that's upsetting you, taking a few deep breaths. Another one when children or anyone struggling with anxiety was a grounding, thinking about 5 colors you can see, 4 things you can smell, 3 things you can see, 2 that you can touch, that kind of thing. Trying to use your environment to kind of distract that mind for that heart rate to regulate.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much. This has been great. Love all those tips.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.